If you've been watching today's shows and words like probate and estate planning and perhaps some of this power of attorney is foreign to you, these are answers you're going to need eventually. Everyone's going to need this information. And Larry, you talk about this often. You need advice from experts. Yeah, you probably have a family member, a cousin, or someone who thinks they know what they're talking about. But one, the laws change, and two, you have a team of experts at your disposal that can really get you the right answers and put your money back in your pocket, right?
Absolutely, John, and that's really the benefit of the workshop, because a lot of times families may not be in a crisis mode, but they're certainly starting to think about it, or they heard their neighbor might have done something. So that's the great venue for coming out to the workshops next Monday and Tuesday, and you can just register at freeworkshop.com or call 855-LARRY-55. But one of the interesting things is I've heard people come up to Steve the attorney, Steve Langdon, CWLB Law, a very beautiful man, but also a very apt attorney at elder law, was I'll have people come up to Steve and go, you know, Mr. Langdon, my attorney didn't tell me this. Why didn't he know this, or why didn't he tell me this? And I'm always glad to just step back because, you know, I'm not an attorney. Steve Langdon is. And how many times have you heard that at the workshop, Steve?
Often. I hear it often. And, you know, there are certain attorneys out there that do a lot of different things. They may work in family law, and then they do some wills on the side, and they'll do some criminal on the side. That's not what I do. I really do focus in my practice on this pre-planning and crisis planning. So it's likely, frankly, that I just have more knowledge about the subject when it comes to preparing a will or a trust or whatever it is that you may need so that you can avoid that probate process.
Yeah, because you mentioned probate, though. Okay, power of attorney is something you talk about a lot. How critical is power of attorney?
It's the cornerstone of any estate plan. You have to have the legal ability to act for your loved one. I had a couple in this morning, been married 58 years, I think is what they told me. You would think if you've been married 58 years, you have the legal ability to act for your spouse. Fact is, you don't. You've got to have the power of attorney. It's the cornerstone. If you want to avoid a crisis later on, you've got to have that power of attorney to protect yourself.
All right, Autumn, from what I understand, you're kind of the liaison between all of these tools and resources that you have at Elder Advisors with the family. So how reassuring is it for you? How much confidence does it give you to know I have experts in Steve Langdon, I've got Larry Weiss, I've got, you know, I know about Medicaid, Medicare, insurance, you know all of this. That's got to help.
Oh, yeah, it helps tremendously. I mean, without Steve and the law firm, we wouldn't be able to do, you know, what we do. We need that huge component there. And also, you know, I work really closely with Ella, who's hiding in the corner right now.
Shout out to Ella.
She didn't want to be on, but she's Steve's paralegal, and we work together a lot. So really, I mean, without Ella, I mean, I don't know where I'd be. I have to reach out to her all the time, and she has to reach out to me. But we totally lean on the law firm, and I'm sure they lean on us as well for different things. Yeah, so it's just really a big teamwork effort.
Yeah. Now, Larry, I'm curious here now. When at these free workshops, and by the way, you can sign up for next week's workshops there, freeworkshop.com. At these free workshops, what kind of questions do you hear most often? Because I'm sure you said there's a Q&A session.
Absolutely.
What do you hear most often? Yeah.
For Steve, I know I have a durable power of attorney, or do I need a durable, or what is the difference? Because my bank gave me a limited, and that's really just a good segue back to Steve, because those are the type of situations that people run with out there, and that's why we invite people after the workshop to schedule a free private consultation, and Steve will sit down and look at their legal documents. And oftentimes the families come in and they're gone in 5 minutes, because Steve will look at everything and say, actually, you know what, you look pretty good here, and the family's kind of surprised, and they go home. And then other times we're backing into our 12 o'clock appointment, and the receptionist is calling saying, Larry, your noon appointment's here, and the 11 o'clock really went long, we're rescheduling, because you know what? You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. It was built brick by brick. And it takes time sometimes to put these plans together or to ensure that your plan is developed correctly.
And, Steve, I talked about you fighting for people, and you'll do that if it's necessary. But I don't want to give that negativity to the word fighting, because, as Larry always says, and as you originated, you coined this, the news is good, right?
It is. It's always good news. It really is. But, again, I think you have to have that litigation background. If you're going to make the state follow their own rules, you got to be there to be able to back it up. And so my clients don't have to fight that battle. That's something that's done behind the scenes. That's something that I take care of with Ella and Dana, my paralegals. You know, we do this together, and we've been doing it plenty long enough now that when we go in front of a caseworker, they know that we know what we're talking about, and they will follow our lead. We're I've got a great team behind me, very, very blessed. But the best thing about our jobs is we're taking that stress off our clients' shoulders.
So why procrastinate, Larry Weiss?
Right.
Why do people procrastinate about this topic?
It's not going to happen to me. Sadly, we're all going to die, but no one thinks it's going to happen to me. And it's unfortunate, but I have to circle back around that you're only as good as the people around you, and truly, Steve and Ella at CWLB, they are phenomenal because they just give great customer service. They answer the phone, they take care of the clients, and I just have to say on this side of the table, because I'm not an attorney, but a lot of my clients, they need attorneys and stuff, and just sometimes that service level is not there, that excellence that needs to be to take care of the client, to make them calm down, because they're always stressed with stuff like that. And certainly our clients are really pampered and taken care of, because when Autumn, who's the voice of Elder Advisors, the families will call Autumn a lot of times because they get her cell number. We're staying on top of this stuff. She'll reach out to Ella, Steve's right hand at the law office, and we'll get answers to him very quickly. And you're only as good as the people that are around you, and CWLB does a phenomenal job, because back to crisis planning, if we're going to protect all the assets, if one spouse goes in Kentucky and we can protect all the assets. If it's a single person, half. There's a financial component, but there's always going to be a legal component, and that's why Steve Langdon truly is a superstar elder law attorney that takes care of the clients.
And next week is a great time.
Great weather. It's going to be like 63 degrees Monday.
It's going to be beautiful out. Come on in. It doesn't cost you any money. It costs you a little bit of time, but you get a chance to meet CWLB Law. You get a chance to meet elder advisors, get to meet Autumn, Larry, me, ask some questions. It doesn't cost you any money, just a little bit of your time, but you can get some of those questions answered so that you can start taking that stress off your shoulders.
So, Larry, I'm going to poke you a little bit because I know you love this question. Who does what Elder Advisors does? Who out there is your competition?
No one, John. No one. We have no competition because we are the competition. No one does what we do. We meet with families. We take care of the stress off their shoulders because no one cares about the sandwich generation. Okay, there's 62-year-old daughters out there. There's 58-year-old sons out there. They're still working, taking care of grandchildren, taking care of their 87-year-old dad, and they're worn out. They're stressed out beyond belief. And I know there's at least 2 or 3 people out there going, are they talking about me? Yes, we are. That's why we excel at this.
Yeah, and we talk to the clients. I mean, I answer my phone at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night. I don't care if it's in the middle of dinner.
Saturday,
if you have a question,
text.
Yeah, if you have a question, just call me. And if I am busy, I'll call you back in a few minutes. But that's just something that we bring to the table that I feel nobody else does, and I'm actually proud of that. And my clients, they know if they're watching, they know that that's true. I answer the phone all the time. I mean, it's just something really huge that we bring to the table.
Elder Advisors, guys, thank you. And remember, freeworkshop.com, there's a spot reserved for you now. You and your spouse should join Larry, his team. All your questions will be answered. There's the information on the screen. All righty. Once again, Elder Advisors. Don't go broke in a nursing home. Don't do it. Coming up, you're going to see a really, really big fish.